As you pursue your acting goals, you are going to be applying to a ton of agents, which is obviously going to help you get closer to that big break that you imagine yourself experiencing. But of course, as you're applying to these agents, you are going to hear no from absolutely tons of them. Now, rather than taking it personally and wondering, is there something about me that's not good enough? There are things that you can do to make it easier for yourself. I'll be diving into that in today's episode. You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, aspiring actors. With me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid, working, unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready? I think as we're on this acting journey, we can all become a little bit obsessed with getting the hottest agents to take a chance on us, and it kind of consumes our every waking moment. And so I want to dive into some of the things today that can actually help make that a reality for you, because as I always say, an acting career is doable. It really is. Sometimes it's just a matter of tweaking the things that we're doing and just moving the needle ever so slightly to start seeing the breakthroughs that we're after. And I can definitely understand that, when we're hearing no time and time and time again, we can start to feel like we're doing something wrong, and it can start to knock our confidence and make us feel like giving up. But I'm here to tell you, do not give up. You should never give up. If this is something that you really, really want, that you cannot stop thinking about, that consumes pretty much every waking moment of your day, and you're always imagining yourself on the big screen or on stage, then you've got to pursue it. You've got to continue, even when you're getting knocked back after knockback after knockback. And I think really the key thing is you've got to make peace with these knockbacks. Like, if it was easy, everyone will be doing it. And there's a reason not everybody follows their acting dreams and goals. So firstly, give yourself a pat on the back. You're being really bloody courageous. You're being really brave by pursuing a career that really the general public does not see as a conventional career. And let's be honest, is it a conventional career? Probably not. But it's a very fulfilling one. Like, how much you love acting. I do know as well, though, that, when we're hearing these no's time and time again, it definitely can affect some people's mental health and, can really make us feel really jaded and down in the dumps, because rejection is not something that us as human beings want. We want to feel part of the community if we take the human condition right back to the basics. And you can be part of the acting community. And I'm here today to tell you how to do that. As I've said, it might just take a little shift of the needle. You might already be doing some of these things that I'm going to be sharing with you. It just might mean that you need a slight different approach to how you're doing them. And if you're not doing any of these things, then great. This is your prep. This is the prep work for landing you on those hot agents books. Now, I just want to share with you that it can be achieved, because some of our students at Standby Method Acting Studio have gone on to land some of the most incredible, well-respected, sought-after agents in the industry. And these people have started from pretty much zero experience, just like you. Everybody has to start from somewhere. So if you are beating yourself up, if you are giving yourself a bit of a hiding, just stop bloody doing it. It's not serving you. Instead, get a pen and a notepad out and start taking some notes from this podcast. Or better still, just download the episode and keep referring back to it whenever you need to come back to learning how you can get those hot agents to take a chance on you. And yes, even if you've never been on stage, because that's possible as well. So there are 6 key things I'm going to share with you. The first one is that age-old question, are you being proactive? But what does that even mean? What does being proactive even mean? It means seeking out opportunities. It means seeking ways to improve yourself. So rather than just saying, yeah, I'm being proactive by looking up what agents have got their books open and I'm applying for them, there's like other things that you can be doing. So way before you are applying for these agents, Are you actually building up a CV by yourself? Because this is a key thing when it comes to agencies. They want to know that you're castable. And you are castable. 100% you are, but you have got to be seeking out acting opportunities yourself. You've got to be seeking out the jobs yourself, and you've got to build a good, strong CV. Now, a good, strong CV, unfortunately, is not one that's just full of student films. While some agents, may take a chance on you with a CV full of student films because some are like that, and that's cool. If you're wanting to get further up the ladder, eventually you're going to have to stop doing the student films and you're going to have to make the break into independent films. And then obviously that's where you and an agent would then work together to help you take that next rung up the ladder, which would be to be in more commercially available films. So are you building up a CV by yourself? And not only that, does this CV really represent you? Does it represent your brand and how you like to identify yourself as an actor in the acting industry? And what I mean by that is, like, you haven't just got tons and tons of very different roles. There's a clear pattern on your CV. That's what you need. So, for example, one of our students they kind of thought it was getting sucked into, but I kept saying to them, listen, it means you're marketable, it means you're castable. They kept playing soldier roles, like a different variety of soldier roles, but a lot of different soldier roles. So maybe a German soldier, an English soldier, a Polish soldier, and all obviously in different kind of stories. And whilst that got a little bit annoying for this student of mine, as I said, it made them castable, it made them marketable. And it was easy for casting directors and agents to go, yep, this person fits somewhere in the industry. And now what that's done for this person, because they've kind of established themselves as an actor who can play soldier roles, it's kind of opened up now. Now this person's been headhunted and taken on by a very good, reputable agent in the UK. It's now opening up. So they're going for roles like security guard roles, as well as the soldier roles, the husband who beats the wife up, that kind of thing. So as you can imagine, this actor's got quite a big build. So that's what I'm saying when I'm saying to you, are you being proactive and are you building up a CV that firmly cements your casting type? And your casting type, as you know, is simply the roles that people see you playing. So what I would say is, listen, hang fire. If you've got a few roles on your CV, good for you, but can you build it up a little bit further, and can you start shedding any of the roles that you no longer want on there? So as you start transitioning from student films to independent films, can you start getting rid of some of those student films off your CV, get a couple more, maybe 2, 3, 4 more independent films on your CV, and then start seeking out these agents that you've got your eyes and your heart set on? So that's the first point. Are you being proactive? Now, the second one I think is a little bit overlooked. I'm going to ask you whether or not your headshots are striking. And what I mean by that is, do they pull in your audience? Do they captivate them? Is there something about them that stands out? I know from having many, many headshots done over the years that sometimes, we're happy with how we look, because as actors, of course, we can be a little bit insecure about how we look, as every human on the planet can be. And sometimes we're choosing the headshots where we look the prettiest or the most good looking. And whilst our ego loves that and it's flattering our ego, it doesn't necessarily mean it's commercially viable for agents to be selling you with. And you've always got to be thinking with that mindset of, is this commercially viable? Is this going to help an agent sell me more efficiently to the casting directors whose radars they're trying to get me onto once I'm on their books? So sometimes I've fallen for that trap, and I've chosen the headshots where I've gone, oh, I really like how I look on that. And really, in reality, when I put my business glasses on, I go, oh, no, Louise, actually, those headshots are really bland. There is nothing striking about them. You look like a plain Jane. They would just get lost in a sea of headshots. And don't forget, the first thing that an agent is looking at is your headshot, because one of the first things they're going to be thinking is, have I already got somebody in the books who looks like this person? So you've got to make it striking. Seek out a headshot photographer who specialises in actors' headshots, but not just specialises in actors' headshots, can actually bring out your qualities, can actually bring out your casting type and help you feel at ease and comfortable on camera, so you are magnetic. And that's how you will pull in that audience. That's how you will pull in your viewers and, captivate them, which is what we want to do. So it's as much about their skills with photography as it is what you're bringing to the table as well. And also, when you are going for your headshots, are you making sure that your headshots scream of your casting type? Now, I've found along the way it can take a good number of headshot sessions before you get really, really, really comfortable and get the hang of what you're doing at them. So, if you've had your first set of headshots and you're not getting auditions, even if that is independent films or student films, that might be a key marker for you to say, actually, something's not working with them. I'm not even getting called in. Maybe I do need to update my headshots. So, are your headshots striking? Are they captivating? Do they capture your casting type? Have you and the headshot photographer collaborated with their skills and your knowledge of where you fit in the industry to bring your brand to life in the pictures? Obviously, it also goes a bit deeper than that. It's about what's going on in your eyes as well, and, the kind of top that you're wearing, does that give off your casting type? But take a good, long, hard look at your headshots. Like, really look at them with your ego not anywhere in sight and with your business glasses on and go, are these striking? And put yourself in the position of an agent or a casting director and ask yourself honestly, if I was an agent or a casting director and I was looking through a bloody massive pile of headshots, would these really stand out? Now, obviously, don't be harsh on yourself. It's not about being really difficult and challenging and hard on yourself and beating yourself up. It's just about looking at the headshots objectively, which can sometimes be very challenging as an actor because we are obviously emotionally involved in this thing that we love doing and in this career that we're pursuing. Now, the third point is, have you got a sellable show reel? Is your show reel the kind that is striking? Is the first piece in your show reel captivating? And is it going to keep your audience hanging on? Because your audience at the moment is that agent that you're after. Your audience at the moment is obviously directors and casting directors who are watching it and seeing whether or not they can place you in the film that they're going to be working on. But right now we're talking about agents. We want to get these agents taking a chance on you, even if you've got very limited experience. So is that first piece very, very, very engaging? Is your stage presence on point? Does it showcase your casting type? Does it showcase your ability to the best of your skills right now in this moment with where you're at, with your acting goals? And if it's not, again, put on your business glasses and take an objective, good, long, hard look at this show reel and ask yourself, if I was watching this show reel among another 100 show reels, would this one stand out for me or would I forget it in an instant? Now, if it's not striking, it is not the time to beat yourself up and it's not time to start panicking and go, oh my God, I need to save up £1,000 and get a big fancy schmancy showreel company to do my showreel again. No, maybe you could look at the showreel that you've got now and maybe it's just a matter of tweaking it. Maybe you can switch around some of the footage that you've got in it. So maybe the piece that you put on last is actually more striking and captivating than the first piece, and you can edit it yourself. Now, all you need to do is very simple, is download an app called InShot. I recommend this to my students all the time, and they love it because it is so simple to work with. So there's a free version and there's a paid version, and I think the paid version is something crazy like £13 a year. It's not even expensive. So you can download that. And all you need to do is upload your current showreel into InShot, and then you can edit it. You can split it, and then you can rearrange and move pieces of footage around. So I've done this with my students many times when they've come to me for advice or one-to-one sessions, and they've gone, Louise, there's something not working about my show reel, and we've had a look at it, and I've said, well, I personally believe your acting is the strongest on this piece, and that should go first. But not only is your acting the strongest, also it's representing your brand and your casting type. And you've got to remember, a show reel is not going to be watched in full. I'm all about less is more. So if it's 3 minutes long, chop it, make it half of that. I know that's quite challenging, but that's obviously down to you to get snippets of your best work in there. The idea is not to give them a full film. It's not to give agents or casting directors a full production. It's to give them snippets to leave them wanting more. So you can obviously chop and change and move bits of footage around before you decide you're then going to go and spend loads of money with a production company to do you another brand new show reel. Now, of course, if your footage is out of date, you've lost weight, you've put on weight, you've changed hair colour, you've changed hair cut, you've changed something about yourself, or, you've looked at it and gone, actually, that is not my casting type, that's not my brand, I've got it wrong, then that might be the time to go and get some more footage. And you can do that a number of ways. You can apply for roles, but obviously it can take a while to get the footage back to then add into your show reel, or you can go and pay a company to do it for you. But again, everybody's got different costs. So there are pros and cons to both. But the question is, have you got a sellable show reel? Are you striking in it? Is your acting on point? Is it on fire? Is your screen presence magnetizing? Are you drawing in your audience? Is it short and sharp, leaving them wanting more? And does it sell your brand being your casting type? Now, the other way we can start to get hot agents to take a chance on us is to get others to testify to your talent. So the fourth point is, can others testify to your talent? What do I even mean by that? I mean, have you got reviews? Have you been going around in a proactive manner seeking out reviews from other people that you have worked with? Reviews are the bee's knees. Let me tell you, we live in the day and age of reviews. Everyone's begging for reviews, every company out there, and they're all wanting the best reviews, because there is nothing better to sell your brand than somebody else singing from the rooftops about you. So if you haven't got reviews for your acting, I would be saying you need to put it on your to-do list and make it an absolute priority to be contacting those directors that you have worked with to get a review from them, so you can be popping that in your cover letters, on your website if you've got one, or you're in the stages of planning a website, on your casting profiles. You can even pop it at the bottom of your show reel if you so wanted to. You can pop it on your CV. Now, if you haven't got any credits under your belt, and a credit just means you've got no productions under your belt, go to your acting coach, ask them for a review. It is a starting point. The one thing I don't want you to do is to start seeing problems instead of solutions. I want you to start thinking with a solution-orientated mindset, because when you can do that, you are going to feel less overwhelmed, and you are going to stop beating yourself up so much, and you're going to stop lacking confidence, and you're actually going to get excited and motivated to start making this a reality. Because the thing about getting agents to take a chance on you is you have got to do the things that you are in control of. You're not in control of whether they will say yes or no, but what you are in control of is things like your headshots, your show reel, whether you've collected these reviews or not. So start doing more of the things that you are in control of. And when you're doing that, you will start to build up momentum, and eventually it's going to make you a magnetizing actor. That's why one of our students who I spoke about earlier got headhunted by one of the best agents in the industry. It can happen. It will happen if you're willing to do these things. So can others testify to your talent? Now, if you haven't got an acting coach, I highly recommend you do get one and start training, because obviously your skills are important. And that's coming on to the next point. But if you don't, and you have done some amateur work for now, or maybe you've done some college productions or school productions or whatever way in the past, you can still go and grab reviews from those if you're still in contact with those people, or you could at least try and seek them out and ask them if they will give you a review. Remember, everybody starts from zero. We've got to build ourselves up, and we've got to start acting like we are a professional actor. And right now, as you don't have the profile of Denzel or Viola or Kate Winslet or Meryl or whoever, you've got to be getting other people chatting about your acting in a really positive way. So let's move on to the next point then. Is your talent up to scratch? Is it? Be honest. Again, not being hard on yourself, not being overly critical or judgmental of yourself, just putting those business glasses on and saying to yourself, listen, if I had myself in a room with 100 other actors, would my talent stand out? And if the answer is no, you need to get your talent up to scratch. Now, I know there's some people out there who say, oh, you want to act, just act. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as that. You know, some people do have natural talent and they're naturally gifted. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of those people. But even into his career, when he did Catch Me If You Can, he still went and got training. Yes, it was the first time he got any training, but he said, I can't remember where I watched this, it was on an interview with him somewhere, but he said his mind was blown and that there was so much to learn. So if someone like Leonardo DiCaprio is saying that, you've got to take a leaf out of his book, and we know what kind of a career he's got. He's got a bloody brilliant one behind him, and if he can train, so can you. Because let me tell you, when casting directors are getting their submissions in from the agents for the roles that they're casting for, they can be getting upwards of 1,000 submissions. And your agent is going to be the person who is submitting you for that. But they are not the only agent. There are tons and tons of other agents in the industry as well, all subbing their acting clients for the exact same role. So is your acting talent up to scratch? Is it striking? Is it sharp? Is it on point? When you're acting, is it like watching somebody, like being a fly on the wall and taking a peek into somebody's life? Or is it like watching an actor who is smelling or oozing of performance tricks? Because that could be the difference between you getting this hot agent or not. And then when the agent's taking you on, it could be the difference between them keeping you on their books or not. And I'm saying that because you've got to start thinking like a business. You've got to get your business headset on, because unfortunately, as much as we love acting and as much as we are so creative and so imaginative and so passionate about acting, it is an industry after all, and people do have to earn money, and that includes you. You have to earn money from it as well. Otherwise, it's just an expensive hobby, and that's not what we want. So if your acting talent is not up to scratch, you need to start investing in training. You need to start investing in classes. And if you are taking classes at the minute and you are not seeing an improvement in your talent, then it's time to start looking for a new acting coach. You need to be challenged. If you're not being challenged week in, week out with your acting training and you're finding it too easy, then you're not going to be progressing. You need something more. And then the final question I want to ask you is, are you active on socials with your acting? This is so important because in this day and age, in the internet age where information is readily available, how do you know that these brilliant agents that you're applying to are not going to be Googling your name? How do you know they're not going to be going on socials and checking out what you've been doing? And if it's like bloody tumbleweed when they come across your social media profile, does that give a good impression to them? You have to decide. It's very important that you do have a social media profile catered specifically to acting, and any private accounts you've got, or personal accounts, are set to private. Because you don't want them seeing you getting pissed up on a Saturday night. You don't want them seeing you, warts and all behind the scenes of your personal life. You want one right now specifically for acting. And of course you can thread some of your personal life into that, but it needs to specifically be acting, because you have to look like you are being proactive and you are busy in this industry. So if you have got an acting profile, good for you. Let's start getting some things on there that could really help improve your chances of getting taken on by this agent's by getting onto this agent's books, or at least leaving a good impression with them. So things you can do is you can regularly update your socials, and I'd be highly encouraging you to be on Twitter and Instagram. I wouldn't bother with a Facebook page because the algorithms are always changing. Well, they are on Twitter and they are on Instagram as well, but Facebook is much harder to get organic reach than Instagram and Twitter. And Instagram and Twitter are very different. Obviously, Instagram is very visual and Twitter is a bit more wordy. Obviously, you can have videos on there and it can be visual. But I would be saying do both and just put the same content on each one, okay? But you can update about auditions that you've recently gone to. Even if you didn't get the job, you can update about jobs that you've recently landed. You can even put some candid posts on there if you're feeling a little bit down in the dumps about your acting, and just be honest and share that your mental health is taking a bit of a dive this week, because we don't just want it to look like, oh, perfect. They're always working. Like we do want to see the human behind the profile as well. You can add your showreel in there every so often. You can get involved in things like Showreel Share Day, which a brilliant actress called Kate Davis Speaks set up and has really got some traction going behind it that casting directors and agents alike do actually look at. You could even take little segments of your showreel, so not the full thing, just little segments, and put little teasers on there. You can show pictures behind the scenes of you on set, or behind the scenes at an audition, or even in your car driving to the audition. There is so much that you can do on social media to be proactive and make it look like you are busy. So let's just go back through the list again. So how do we get a hot agent to take a chance on you, even if you've never been on stage before? Here are my 6 key points. 1, are you being proactive? 2, have you got striking headshots? 3, have you got a sellable showreel? 4, can others testify to your talent? 5, is your talent up to scratch? 6, are you active on socials with your acting? Now, if we go back to this talent question, if you have taken a long, hard look at yourself and objectively gone, actually, do you know what, Louise? No, my talent isn't up to scratch and I need to do something about it. Or you've been at acting classes for a while and you're thinking, do you know what, actually, I need more of a challenge. I'm not being stretched enough. Then you're in luck, because the auditions for our January 2022 10-week method acting modules are Sunday, the 12th of December, and applications are now open. Woohoo! So if you want to start the process of auditioning for our training and training on our 10-week method acting modules, then all you need to do is click the link below this podcast and fill in the application form. The training starts in January 2022 for our London and Sheffield programs. And let me tell you, you will be challenged in our training. It's very structured. It is highly practical. Not only do you do the training inside of the classes, which are 3.5 hours long for the adults and 2.5 hours long for the youth program, but you are given weekly character research and character development prep work and assignments. So you're always on the ball with your acting craft. You're always on the ball with your skills, and you are developing your talent so it's sharp and makes you stand out. So, as I said, the link is below this podcast. You can click that link to either fill in the application form straight away, or you can click the other link to read up on the programs. And of course, we've got testimonials in there as well to share other people's experiences of our training. Or if you want to book in a free 20-minute Zoom call with me to ask me lots of questions about the training, then you can also do that. So there's 3 links below, 1 to apply, 1 to read up more about the program, or 1 to book a free 20-minute Zoom call with me to get your questions answered about it. I hope this podcast has been useful. I hope it's given you a lot to think about and it's got your motivation firing on all cylinders, and you feel like, yes, I've got something that I can be proactively doing with my acting career now to get those agents to start taking a chance on me, to start offering me representation, because it's doable, it's exciting, I know it is. If the podcast has been useful, let me know, and I will see you again in another episode. I have absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode of Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, aspiring actors. Now, if you did, I'd really love you to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and leave a review. And if you would like weekly injections of inspiration, you'd like mini method acting challenges to keep you making progress with your dreams, come and join the most supportive acting community online by clicking the link in the notes to help you become an unstoppable actor.